So we have got this employees table, and based on this employees table we have the SQL quiz for beginners. So we'll try to solve these 6 questions one by one. So let us start with the question 1, wherein we need to create a query to show only employees from IT and sales department. So as we can see in this particular table, we have got employee ID, first name, last name, department, salary and hire date. These are the columns, and we have got around 50 records. So let us start with the question 1 in the quiz, and that is show only employees from IT and sales department. So if you have a look at this employees table, we have this department column which has got different department. Out of all the departments, we need to show the data only for the two departments which are IT and sales. So how do we create a query for this? So basically there are two ways using which we can fetch the data where the department is IT or sales. First way is that select star from employees where department is equal to IT or department is equal to sales. Okay, so this is one way, and most of the people know this way. So if I run this query, it will give me the data only for the two departments, that is IT and sales. So I'll run this query, and now as you can see, we can see the data only for the two departments which are IT and sales. This is one way. What is the second way? Second way is that we can make use of the in operator. So how do I do that? I'll just run this query with the in keyword. So select star from employees where department in, and then just put the bracket. Within the brackets we will mention both these departments. So I'll just mention 8 IT comma the next one which is sales. So sales, and now if I run this query, I'll get the exact same output. Okay, so basically in operator will include the selected values. I can select only one value as well. If I just select in IT, then it will show me the data only for the IT department. Okay, so this is how we can solve the first question in the quiz. One, before we move forward, one small thing that you should always remember is that whenever there is a text or there is a date, it should always be in the single quotes. If there are numbers, you can run the query without the single quotes. Okay, so now let us talk about the second question in the quiz. The second question is salary should be between 50,000 and 70,000. That means here we need to make use of the between keyword or the between operator. So let us do that. So the query goes something like this: select star from employees where salary is between, I'm making use of the between keyword here, between 50,000 and 70,000. If you have a look at this query closely, as I said, these are the numbers, so we do not need single quotes. Single quotes we should be using only for the text or if there is a date. These are numbers, so we don't need single quotes. So I'll run this query, and that should give me the values that are between 50 to 70. So other values beyond that range should be eliminated. So let us see if the filter works. I'm running the query and I'm getting the expected output showing all the values between 50 and 70,000. Okay, so this is how very easily we can solve the second question in the quiz. Now if we have a look at the third question, it says employee's first name must start with letter A. Okay, in this case what should we do? We should make use of the like operator. So how do we do that? Select star from employees where first name, so I'll just select first name, like it should start with A, so I'll just select A and then use percent sign. So if I run this query, it should give me only the records where the first name starts with A. I'll execute this, and as expected we are getting the correct output. Now let us move on to the fourth question, wherein we need to create a query to display only unique departments. So if we have a look at this table, this has got multiple departments and we need to show only the unique departments. Okay, so in this case we can make use of the distinct keyword. So the query goes something like this: select distinct department from employees. So if I run this query, I should be able to get the distinct departments, and we are getting the distinct department. Okay, now the next question that we need to solve is create a new column called full name. So we already have got first name and the last name within the employees table, but we need to create a new column that will be full names. In order to solve this question, we need to concatenate the first name and the last name column. So how do we do this? Select star comma. So we need, when I say star, that means we will select all the columns, and along with that we are creating a new column that will be the concatenation of first name and last name. So I'll just select first underscore name, then we need plus, and we will concatenate, and we'll keep the space between the first name and last name. That is why you see there is a space between this. Then again we need plus sign, and then we need last underscore name from the employees table. So I'll select employees table, put the semicolon, and now if we run this query, but one more thing before we move forward, the first name plus last name, so we are doing the concatenation and we will name this column as full name. So I'll just write full underscore name. Okay, so this new column we will call it as full name. So let us run this query, and if I execute this, so you can see that I'm getting the full name here, Rahul space Sharma. For all the rows we are getting it like this. Okay, so this is how we can concatenate two columns. Now the last question that we have is return only these columns which contains employee ID, department and salary. So it's very easy, and I'm sure that all of you already must know the answer to this question. Instead of star, we need to select the columns that we need, so which includes employee ID, then we need department, and also we need the salary. So I'll select salary as well. If I run this query, this should give me only these three columns because I'm not putting star, I'm just putting the column names that I need. So let's execute this, and now I'm getting the expected output, and now I'm getting the expected output. So this is how we can solve the basic quiz for SQL. In the next videos I'll come up with more advanced questions and more difficult questions. Eventually we will try to raise the bar by solving the difficult questions. Make sure that you comment down, watch these videos, share it with your friends, and practice this video and practice the questions as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video.